I'm scared of my nephew. I always thought of my nephew as just a nice, harmless kid. He's 16, quiet, polite, never gets angry, never raises his voice. He doesn't play sports, he doesn't act tough, he just smiles that calm, unobtrusive smile. I've made fun of him for being so passive and so sweet. Then last night, it happened. We were walking home when a man came out of an alley. He was holding a knife. He asked me to hand him my bag. I froze. My nephew didn't do that. I didn't even see him move. 1 second, he was beside me, hands in his pockets. The next, the man was on the ground, making these horrible, cracking sounds. His knife was gone. His arm was twisted at a disgusting angle. My nephew put his knee on the man's chest, and looked at him calmly, so calm. The man pleaded. My nephew let go of me, stood as if nothing had happened, and watched the man walk away, groaning. Then he turned to me and said, "Are you okay?" I nodded, but I couldn't stop looking at him. He wasn't angry. He wasn't shaking. It was like it didn't mean anything to him. Like it wasn't even an effort. I should have felt safe. He had just saved me. But all I felt was this terrible fear creeping up in the pit of my stomach. I had known him his entire life. I had watched him grow. I had held him as a baby. I had taught him things. And yet, as I stood there with him, I realized that I didn't know him at all. I kept replaying it in my mind, how fast he was, how easy he looked, how he didn't even seem bothered by what he had done. It wasn't self-defense in the way that normal people do. It was something else. Something I didn't understand. Then a worse thought occurred to me. What if he got angry one day? He had never shown any aggression, never been violent. But now I know he doesn't need to. He could do something before I even know it's happening. If he can break a grown man that easily, what could he do to me? Or anyone else? I don't want to believe he could hurt me. We've always been close. I love him. But I also can't stop thinking about how cold he was at that moment. I told him I wanted to eat something, just to see how he would react, to see if I could get rid of this horrible feeling. We went to a small restaurant, sat across from each other as if nothing had happened. He ate as usual, talked as usual, and smiled as usual as if nothing had ever happened. I kept waiting for him to bring it up. To acknowledge it. He never did. He just laughed at a joke on his phone, and asked me if I wanted more fries. And I sat there, staring at him, and realized I didn't know who he really was. And that terrified me.